Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Movies or Let's Talk Movie News live. This is going to be my first time doing that. I'm going to be going through some stuff that I found interesting, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going to be going through it. I'm going to be doing. Let me turn this down real quick. I'm going to be. I got a bunch of different articles that I kind of want to go through, read real quick, and then if you see this, let me know down below what you think of them and all that usual stuff. So let's get started. Let's get to it. So what I'm going to start off first with, it came out on, I believe, last Thursday. I kind of took the weekend to think about it, everything like that, see what other people had to say as well, see some different takes. And it's this: Marvel removes 3 MCU movies from calendar following Avengers delays. So they delayed the Avengers movies by 7 months each, I believe. It was May to December. Excuse me. And so Avengers will no longer be coming out next May. It'll be coming out next December. And then Secret Wars won't be coming out May of 2027. It'll be coming out December of 2027. So with that, they also removed 3 other movies. So let's read. This came to us on Friday. So 3 MCU movies have now lost their release dates following the recent delays of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Marvel Studios Avengers Doomsday, which is now in production for May 1st, was dated for May 1st, 2026, while Avengers Secret Wars was then supposed to come out May 2027. Just yesterday, however, it was announced that both movies must be pushed back to December. When were the new MCU movies supposed to come out? Following this announcement, Marvel has officially removed an untitled movie that was supposed to be released February 13th, 2026 from its schedule. So that's next February. It's less than a year away. There's no absolute way in hell they'd be able to film a movie, edit it, post, all that stuff by February. I believe this was, again, supposed to probably be Blade. So that's not happening at all. As of right now, the Spider-Man movie is staying in July, but that's technically a Sony release with just a Disney distribution, I think. So we won't know about that unless Sony says anything. Additionally, 2 untitled Marvel movies dated for November 6, 2026 and November 5th, 2027 have now been updated to untitled Disney movies, meaning they're no longer connected to the MCU. What does this mean? All it means is that it's not an MCU movie. So I think that is kind of crazy. There is only one other MCU movie as of right now in Spider-Man in 2026. And then there's 0 for 2027. I think it's better just to not release any, though, until it gets closer to that time, because things just keep changing so much. There's so many moving parts. I think they could have kept this November 5th, 2027 date and got in a Doctor Strange 3 or maybe a Thor 5. But definitely Doctor Strange 3. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Multiverse of Madness, but he deserves a third movie. It's kind of crazy the huge gap they have between his movies. But 100%, I think they could have kept that. And November 6, 2026, that would mean they have to go into production in like the next 2 months with a full script and everything like that, and cast for whatever movie they had wanted that to be for it to make that date. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think Hunger Games is also coming out at that time. Let me double check real quick. Hunger Games Sunrise on Weeping. I spelled it wrong, but I don't really care. On Whelping. Okay, whatever. Let me do movie. Okay. November 20th. Okay, so nothing too crazy. We're going to get to that later. Okay, so yeah, nothing too wasn't that close, but that was my only thought on it. Okay, while it's not clear that any of these MCU movies were going to be Spider-Man Brand New Day, while it's not clear what any of these 3 MCU movies are going to be, Spider-Man Brand New Day still has its July 30th, 2026 release date at the time of this article's publication. So as of Friday and as of today, nobody said anything yet. Many fans still been wondering that movie's going to get pushed back, given that it's supposed to come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars and could potentially factor into those movies' plots. Both Avengers movies are being directed by Joe and Anthony Russo and the Russo brothers. Official plot details remain under wraps at the time. So and then it just goes into the cast, goes into the person that wrote the article. Let's see. Is there anything? Okay. So what this tells me, is that they are going all in on Avengers. So it's almost as if, not that they don't care about getting anything else, but they want these Avengers movies to be perfect, because really they have to be. There's not many movies that you can do that'll get done in that short kind of time frame unless they do another Deadpool movie. That's the only movie that could kind of get cut together that quick. But what you used to see have in the MCU right now, he's not even on this universe. The it it's tough. Makes no sense as to why they didn't have anything going, but I think just Kevin Feige's primary focus was like, no, we need these Avengers movies. Some of the actors like Kelsey Grammer, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, they're old. Like especially Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. Who knows when they're going to see the end of the light on that day? So they're just trying to get those done and out, but they also need them to be good. They've been filming, I think, only for a month, and so what they have done so far, they're probably just like, it's we're not gonna make it by next year, bro, or next May. Like there's way too much that goes into these movies. I also think too, I haven't seen many people talk about this. I also think too, these potential tariffs are going to go into effect, and they need that extra time to figure out what they're going to do because they're filming entirely in London for both of those movies. So if these tariffs mess with them, then they got to figure that out. So I think that's a big factor of what they're preparing for, which is good. But other than that, so next year I'm okay with two MCU movies. There'll be Spider-Man and there will be Avengers Doomsday. After that, you would think there would be at least one or two other movies set for 2027, maybe like a May and an October of 2027 or something. I still think they could have kept that November date and done Doctor Strange 3 and got Doctor Strange 3 in there. But who knows? Let me know down below, though, what you think about the Avengers delays. If there's any input that you have on it, it will let me know what you think some of the movies should have been or were going to be or what they could do and all that down below. Now, let's get to the next article. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. So next up, we're going to stay in the Marvel train. David Tennant. If you know him, he was in the Netflix Daredevil series. He was in Harry Potter. He's Barty Crouch Jr. He's in Doctor Who. You know him if you see him for sure. But David Tennant says he has had his eye on the role of Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four before Pedro Pascal was cast. They've gone a different direction. This is by Jack Dunn from Variety, so let's read what he has to say. Okay. If things had gone differently, David Tennant could have been the face of another major franchise. When asked by a fan about which superhero he'd like to play at MCM Comic-Con via comic book movie, the former Doctor Who star shared he was interested in playing Reed Richards, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic, in the upcoming Marvel tentpole Fantastic Four: Four Steps. Although the role went to Pedro Pascal, Tennant had no hard feelings about missing out on the part. In terms of superheroes, I did slightly have my eye on Reed Richards, and unfortunately, it looks like they have gone a different direction. Although, if it has to be someone, I'm very happy for it to be Pedro. Fantastic Four: First Steps hits theaters July 25th alongside Pascal. As the titular shape-shifting hero is Vanessa Kirby. Okay, there's the cast. After the debut of the Fantastic Four, comic book fans have to wait until the release of Spider-Man Brand New Day on July 31st, 2026 for another Marvel installment. The gap is the longest drop between MCU films since 2019's Spider-Man Far From Home and 2021's Black Widow. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's almost a full year. The expanded break is due to a recent delay of the Avengers movies, as we just talked about. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so first off, David Tennant, he's a good actor, but I don't see him as Mr. Fantastic at all. I still don't see Pedro as Mr. Fantastic, but he's a good actor, so I can be convinced. It just depends on the context of the movie. But yeah, I would assume that because they're tying in Jessica Jones now to Daredevil Born Again, they might bring him back as a villain for that. I didn't see Jessica Jones season 1, so I don't know if he died or not. I think he's still out there. But they could want to have him back technically in the MCU and stuff like that. So sure, they could have multiple characters do multiple different things, but whatever. So with that, I mean, I don't know. I still would have really liked Adam Driver to be Reed. I think he was in the running, but some of the guys just were asking for way too much money, I guess. I think it'd still be cool though to have the Council of Reeds and have all the people that almost played Reed play Reed for a second in the Council of Reeds. Bring back John Krasinski, bring back Ian Grofeld, bring back Miles Teller. You could even slide David Tennant in there, have Adam Driver in there. I think Dev Patel was part of the running as well. Have all them in there and have the Council of Reeds. I think that'd be sick. But Yeah, just a quick little article. He apparently wanted this. Let me know down below what you think. Do you see him as Reed Richards? I don't. I see him more as a villain. He just has that villain face to where he could just be anything. I think maybe he could play a clay face though in Batman. That'd be kind of cool. So again, yeah, let me know down below what you think about that. And I just realized I haven't even had my cute face up this whole time. Oh well. So we're gonna go on to the next article, and that's going to be Argentine movie theater ceiling collapses during Final Destination screening. Bro, could you imagine you're at a Final Destination movie and then the ceiling collapses in on you? That's literally Final Destination in itself. Let's see if I hope nobody was hurt. Let's see. All right. In an unfortunate example of life imitating art, Argentine moviegoers were treated to an unwitting immersive experience as they screened Final Destination Bloodlines with their theater ceiling collapsing mid-movie. The incident took place last week in Cinema Ocho in La Plata, the capital city of Argentina's Buenos Aires, according to Argentine digital publication Infobae. During a May 19th, 9 p.m. showing of the sixth and latest installment of the horror franchise, which sees its protagonist stalked and eventually... Okay, just get to it. Around 40 attendees had their viewing experience cut short as the roof theater number 4 let down debris. Okay, did it let down debris or did it fully collapse? A really loud noise was heard. 29-year-old so-and-so, who went to the screening on a whim with her 11-year-old daughter and a friend, told the outlet in Spanish. At first, we thought it was part of the movie because we were so engrossed, but immediately after, a piece of rubble fell on me. Wow. She said pieces struck her shoulder, back, knee, and ankle, adding, it didn't hit my head because I was slightly leaning over the armrest. Oh, okay. Okay. Video captured at the scene depicts a significant hole in the ceiling and debris on the floor between the aisles. Commotion can be heard as attendees chattered amongst themselves in audible shock. Per local reports, the theater did not provide any statement regarding the incident, and moviegoers theorized the city's heavy rainfall could have contributed to the damage. For her part, Valverde said she's planning to file a complaint and has contacted her lawyer after missing days off of work due to severe bruises and an x-ray that diagnosed her with trauma from the below. Released May 16th, positive. Okay, so then it just goes into the fucking... it just goes into like, hey, this was released on May 16th and it's made money. But screw these people. Where's the video of that, man? Oh, I thought they were going to show the video. But either way, that's the most ironic, crazy thing that has probably ever happened inside a movie theater. Like, movie theaters have collapsed, but to have it collapse during the specific movie of Final Destination is insane. Like, it would be crazy if way out there theory or conspiracy theory, but it'd be crazy if they knew it was starting to collapse, so they just screened that movie on that screen until it actually did, just to get the headline. That would be insane. I doubt it, but that'd be wild. So let me know down below. Have you ever been in an incident where a movie theater collapsed or anything like that? There's an incident where I was in a movie theater one time and the fire alarm started going off. Like, there was no fire or anything like that. I think it just got triggered. Me and my dad were like, no one else is leaving and we want to watch the movie, so we're staying. We ended up staying. Nothing was wrong. There was no fire or anything like that. So nothing crazy. I've never been in a movie theater while an earthquake happened or anything like that, but let me know down below if you have. I'm going to go ahead and get on to this next topic now, and that is an ad. I love ads. Okay. Hollywood Reporter brings us Haley Atwell was nearly 9 months pregnant while filming a Mission Impossible fight scene. They were like, oh, you can sit down and we'll have a stunt double do it. And I was like, no, I've worked too hard. Let me do it. Good for her. Her, Gal Gadot, Scarlett Johansson, I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones, but to do this kind of work, especially an action scene pregnant, oh my God, I can't imagine how impossible that would be. So let's see. Tom Cruise wasn't the only impressive stuntman on the set of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. During a recent appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Haley Atwell revealed she was almost 9 months pregnant while shooting the film's fight scenes. During this fight sequence, we came back to it a few times to add a few elements to it, and in this clip, I'm actually 8.5 months pregnant. Atwell told Fallon before he aired the clip on the show. I'm serious, yes. So let's see. Should we watch it? Everyone was so supportive, and they offered that the stunt double could have stepped in and finished the scene. Nonetheless, Atwell was eager to perform the stunt on her own. I want to say it's the stunt at the beginning of the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what it is. But I'm not too sure. I will take a look at the video, but I just don't want to get copyright struck from Jimmy Fallon. I have to say, I was taken such good care of. Everyone was so supportive, she said. And they were like, oh, you can sit down. Okay, I just said that. Owl and the Final Reckoning cast notably earned how to dog sled when they travel. Oh, excuse me. When they traveled to Norway for filming. Oh, okay, maybe it's the Norway scene. The dog sledding in the Arctic was invigorating, empowering, mind-blowing, surreal, and they even had to pause filming when a polar bear walked across the set. Holy shit. We had to stop shooting because a polar bear walked across the set, and that is something I never thought I would hear myself say, she said. We lived on an icebreaker ship. We played cards at night, and we ate together. It was really important that we cultivated a sense of rapport and teamwork so that we were able to trust each other on the ice. That's crazy. A polar bear walking across the set. They even like make reference to that too in the movie itself, so that's kind of funny. It would be funny if they shot that. I hope they have a behind the scenes thing. All right, so that's it for the article. Let's go to this Fallon clip real quick and see if the fight scene.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. Is that not amazing?
All right, let's just skip to where they show us the scene. Okay, it is. It's at the beginning.
Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Take a look at this.
This quality is crap. All right, so I'm gonna pause it there just because I don't want to get copyright struck. But it was the scene that I thought it was. So really cool. It's at the beginning of the movie. It's before they do the whole Mission Impossible intro. Awesome scene, and I like their chemistry. Haley Atwell and Tom Cruise, they had great chemistry. I wish that he was still in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because he's just a good actor. He's a good dude. It seems like, I don't know personally, he seems like a good dude. Seems like a cool dude. And it would have been really cool to see him as an evil Iron Man variant, to just pay homage to the fact that he actually was almost Iron Man. I don't know. I wish they would have done that, but I get that. I get why they didn't. I think that they actually did film some stuff, because before all the AI stuff was out, there was like a picture that came out of him on a train wearing some like metal stuff and had the beard and mustache. So I don't know. I think they filmed something, but who knows? Who knows with that movie? So much crap went on. But all right, let's get to the next article now, which is, let me go over here. No, I don't want to get the wrong one again. Okay. Elle Fanning, Maya Hawke, Kira Culkin, and more join the Hunger Games prequel cast. So this Hunger Games movie, this Sunrise on the Reaping or Weeping, whatever, this cast is stacked. There is so many stars in this movie. So let's get into it. Suzanne Collins, Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. Okay, Reaping. Dropped in March of this year. So fun fact, I was actually at CinemaCon and we got free copies of it. So if you were there, let me know down below if you got the copy and if you read it. I have not. But anyways, March of this year, revisiting the dystopian world of the beloved original series. The book follows fan favorite Haymitch Abernathy, originally played by Woody Harrelson, as he competes in the 50th Hunger Games 24 years before he mentors Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark in their games. This is also the second quarter quo where the double of the usual number tributes compete. The film adaptation is set to theaters November 2026. We looked that up earlier, with the announcement coming as no surprise following the success of the previous films. As expected, fans have been eagerly awaiting casting and were rewarded with the first announced 23rd of April this year, the two leading roles. So let's get to this. So Joseph Zada is Haymitch. I don't recognize this guy, but I mean, it looks like he fits the part. District 12. Okay, Zada prepared like crazy and stole our hearts. Okay, in securing the role. So we know that he wins because Haymitch wins. So it'll be interesting to see. But I liked the last one, the Songbirds and Snakes. I liked that one quite a bit, even though I knew what was going to happen pretty much. The 20-year-old Australian actor has previously starred in the Stan original series Invisible Boys, as well as the upcoming We Were Liars, East of Eden. Okay, I've heard of East of Eden. I haven't heard of anything else though. All right. Whitney Peak as Lenore Bayard. She looks familiar. She kind of looks like Rachel Ziegler too, a little bit. That's a little weird. Um, so let's see. She'll portray Lenore, Haymitch's girlfriend, and a fellow District 12 resident. Ooh, that's gonna be, if they have good chemistry, that's gonna be really sad to see. One of those magical casting moments when you know your search has led you home. Oh. Peak is known for her role in the Gossip Girl reboot, but also starred in Hocus Pocus 2 and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Okay, I've seen Hocus Pocus 2, but I don't recognize her. Adding to that is Ray Fiennes as President Snow. So I thought that they were maybe going to bring back the guy that played him in the last one and kind of age him up a bit, but I guess not. I think Ray Fiennes will do a great job too. After that, we have Elle Fanning has joined the cast as Effie Trinket. That was played by Elizabeth Banks before, so I think Elle Fanning will do a great job. She looks like a great young Effie Trinket. And then after that, Kieran Culkin is now going to be Caesar Flickerman, which so in Songbirds and Snakes, the guy that played the Caesar character, I think that was Caesar's dad in the movie, and he looked and sounded just like him. So I'm going to be really interested to see how Kieran does with this. He's got more of like, Stanley Tucci has more of like a olive toned skin to him, to where like Kieran's pretty white. So I'm curious as to how they're going to do that. I think he'll do a good job. He could play that like kooky person. But I hope they at least make him look like a young Stanley Tucci in makeup or whatever, because that role just can't, like, it just honestly can't be given to anybody else. After that is McKenna Grace as somebody else. I don't know this character. I think it's a new character for the movie, but she's a good actress. Jesse Plemons as Plutarch Heavensbee. So he looks like a good young Philip Seymour Hoffman. I think he'll be a great young Plutarch. And it would be cool to see Plutarch's story before he joined the rebellion, or like have him or show him be the double agent if he's been part of the uprising for the whole time. I think that'll be really cool as a little side plot. Maya Hawke as Wyrus. So there's Wyrus and Beatty from the Catching Fire, and she's a young Wyrus. Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Beatty. I don't know him from anything, but he is going to be the young, obviously Beatty, played by oh man, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but he's a really good actor. He's from Batman. He's the Watcher in What If. He's in not Hunger Games. Yeah, obviously Hunger Games, but what's that one? Last of Us. So, Jeffrey Wright. I knew it was Wright something. So yeah, he looks like a good young Jeffrey Wright. Trial of Chicago 7. Elvis. Okay, I've seen Elvis, and he voiced Taka in Lion King. Okay, so he voiced Scar. Interesting. Lily Taylor as Mags. She looks like an identical young Mags. That's great casting right there. And yeah, so that's all of that. All that cast. Let me know down below what you think about this cast. Let me know if you're excited for this new Hunger Games movie. Let me know if you've read it, anything like that. Let me know who your favorite casting is that they've released so far, and let me know if you would have cast somebody else in the role. With that down, time to move on to the next topic. And the next topic is going to be new psychological thriller cast Dwayne Johnson as a morally questionable guru. So with this, Dwayne Johnson already has the A24 movie coming out this year. He's got The Smashing Machine coming out, and from the sounds of it, it looks like he likes working with A24. They like working with him. He's very much striving for that Oscar goal, at least a nomination. I think there's potential he might get it with The Smashing Machine. But I love psychological thrillers, so it'll be cool to see him now challenge himself again to a different genre of film. So let's get to the article. Okay. Dwayne Johnson is set to play a manipulative guru in A20. Oh, speaking of Smashing Machine, this is the trailer right here. A24's upcoming thriller Breakthrough. The star continues his collaboration with the production and the distribution company of the following Benny Safdie's MMA biopic, The Smashing Machine, as we just talked about, set to release in October. Announced last week, Breakthrough will see Johnson play a morally questionable motivational guru whose charming ways conceal darkness and a dangerous agenda. Johnson's guru is a supporting role to the protagonist, an alienated young man who falls under the mentor's spell. So I wonder if they've casted the main role yet. The film is written by Zeke Goodman here on his first feature-length writing project after mainly focusing on acting, with its filmography roles including I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series and 2024's Cruel Intentions reboot. I did not know that they did a TV series of I Know What You Did Last Summer or a Cruel Intentions TV reboot. I mean, obviously they didn't last that long, so that's kind of scary knowing that not many people know about these two projects, and the guy's gonna write it. But I like thrillers. I like A24. And they usually put out some pretty good stuff. Set in to turn on the milestone in Southern California, the film is hailed as an intense psychological thriller, a millennium in Southern California. So what's that, at 1999? The additional casting still underway, with the lead star, supporting actors, and more plot details to be announced in due course. No directors attached to the project just yet. So this is very, very new. I bet A24 just had the script and they like what The Rock, and they said, hey, you could bring us money. Do you want to play this part? And he said yes. I bet that's what happened. I bet the script probably isn't even done. So we're probably not going to see this movie till like 2027. And I think The Rock is filming a movie with Martin Scorsese where he plays like the Hawaiian mafia guy. So let's get going with this article, see what else is there. The film from one half of the Safdie brothers reunites Johnson with his Jungle Cruise co-star. Oh, okay. So this is, now they're getting into the Smashing Machine. So we're not here for that article. We're here to talk about this one. So let me know down below what you think. Do you like psychological thrillers? Number one, do you like The Rock as an actor? Number two, do you think he can do a good job being a manipulative guru, as they say in this article? And let me know what you think about just what the movie sounds like in general down below. Moving on from that, we are going to go to technically our last. I got two different things that I want to go over, but this will be the last topic, and that is going to be this Memorial Weekend's box office. Memorial Day box office record breaker. Lilo and Stitch debuts to a massive 183 million. Mission Impossible scores series best 77 million. So that's a crazy gap, but the fact that this is the last Mission Impossible movie and it is the best on its opening weekend is crazy. I believe I saw that the Dead Reckoning made more money, but it came out on a Wednesday, so it had an extra 2 days to make money. So it doesn't count when you put it into that perspective, I guess, because it had those extra 2 days. But let's check out this article from, I believe this is Variety. Okay. It's a Memorial Day weekend for the box office record books. Movie theaters across the country were jamming as Lilo and Stitch and Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning fueled the largest Memorial Day in holiday history, and established several other benchmarks for the process. Families turned out in force for Disney's live-action Lilo and Stitch remake, which collected a blockbuster $145.5 million in its opening weekend and an estimated $183 million through Monday. So that means by the end of today, it will have made $183 million. Those ticket sales defied projections and cemented Memorial Day opening weekend record, overtaking a different cruise tentpole, 2022's Top Gun Maverick, with $126 million over the weekend and $160 million through 4 days. So that's pretty good for the 2020s, I would say. Within 3 years, you already have one record breaking the other. And Top Gun Maverick was a huge success. It made over, I think, it made 1.5 or near 1.5 billion at the box office. Lilo and Stitch also secured the second largest start across any 4-day holiday weekend, only behind 2018's Black Panther, which amassed $242 million over President's Day. Yeah, that was crazy because A, that was in February. B, it was a Black Panther movie, first one ever, and his introduction in Civil War was sick. C, Marvel was at his peak. And D, it was literally 2 or 3 months before Avengers: Infinity War came out. Meanwhile, older audiences showed up to watch Paramount and Skydance's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which earned a series best $63 million over the weekend and an estimated $77 million through Monday's holiday. This 8th installment just narrowly beat Mission Impossible's Fallouts from 2018, $61 million, to score the top debut of the 29-year-old franchise. A record opening on the 8th iteration is remarkable. It speaks to the longevity of the franchise, says Paramount's distribution chief Chris Aronson. The spectacle of what Tom and McHugh director Christopher McQuarrie put to the screen is one of a kind in today's marketplace. Thanks to the effective counter-programming, and a huge assist by holdovers like Final Destination Bloodlines, Thunderbolts, and Sinners. This weekend delivered the best collective Memorial Day weekend haul with $322 million across all films. It's been more than a decade since this many people went to the movies over the holiday frame. The prior record was established in 2013 with a $314 million across all films, led by Fast and Furious and The Hangover Part 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness. That's crazy. That was the last time, 12 years ago. That's insane. Cinema operators are rejoicing because Memorial Day is the official launch to the summer movie season. The first weekend of May is now kind of that, but definitely for like family-friendly stuff because kids are like right about to get out of school. For sure, yeah. But the summer movie season now is like pretty much the first weekend of May, which is the most profitable stretch for the movie business. Historically, the 4-month period has accounted for $4 billion, or around 40% of the annual box office. It's a huge improvement from last year, which started with a whimper rather than a bang, as Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, and Garfield led the holiday's worst showing in 3 decades with $132 million collectively. I'm surprised it even made that much because both those movies flopped hard. Every film on the release calendar for the rest of the summer is going to benefit from the momentum created over this monumental record-breaking Memorial Weekend in theaters. Says senior ComScore analyst Paul, I'm not going to pronounce his last name like that. Last year's abysmal Memorial frame took wind out of the sails of the industry that took many weeks to counteract. That's true. Last year, there's a big box office bump with Dune in March. Then the summer fell off with Fall Guy. He fell. Mad Max, Furiosa, Garfield, and I don't think there was much else in general either until July, because July last year, so that whole May, June, and then up until mid-July was trash for the box office. And then Deadpool, Wolverine, and Inside Out came out within like I think 2 or 3 weeks of each other, and those both made over $1 billion. So then that little month, but then I think September, October, I think those fell off as well, and then November, December picked back up. So last year was a real up and down with the box office. But usually, if you have a bad Memorial weekend or like May, you're gonna have a bad summer, and that's exactly what happened, except for the tail end. Lilo & Stitch also ignited to $158 million at the international box office for a staggering $341 million global start. So this movie has already made back its budget and then some in its very first weekend. Somehow they got away with only making this movie for $100 or $100 million. So you want to do double that because you want to account for the promotion and everything like that. So $200 million. So, and then theaters get 50%. So in order to make that $200 million back, it'd have to make $400 million. So it's literally right on the cusp of breaking even in its very first weekend. Disney spent $100 million to produce, another $100 million on marketing. Oh, okay, I just said that. Cool, I was right there. For the kid-friendly adventure about the chaotic alien who crash lands in Hawaii. Okay. Lilo & Stitch ranks as one of the top debuts for Disney's live-action remakes, just behind 2019's Lion King, $191 million over 3 days, and 2017's Beauty and the Beast, $174 million over 3 days. What was Aladdin? 'Cause Aladdin is my favorite remake that they've done, but it's an encouraging reversal for Disney's after March's Snow White remake had flatlined with $204 million globally against a $250 million budget. That's right. Lilo & Stitch earned more in 4 days than Snow White did in its entire box office run. It helps that Lilo & Stitch was embraced by moviegoers with an A-grade cinema score exit polls. This is a sensational opening, says David A. Gross of movie consulting with the film franchise of the Lilo & Stitch reboot. It's a crowd pleaser, and the audience score is outstanding. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning added another $127 million overseas for a worldwide start of $190 million. So that's good for a Mission Impossible movie, but what's bad is that this movie cost $400 million to make, so it's going to have to make over $1 billion to be profitable, and that's just not going to happen. Paramount began rolling out the film internationally a week ago and folded those grosses into this initial number. It's a muscular start to the action epic, which requires an equally epic box office run to justify its eye-popping budget. The Final Reckoning is one of the most expensive films of all time. It cost a staggering $400 million, as I just said, that Christopher McQuarrie worked through a pandemic and 2 strikes, all while grappling with inflation. So the tentpole needs to become the highest grossing of the series, and that's currently Fallout with $791 million worldwide to climb out of the red. Not going to happen. I hope it does. Nobody deserves it more than Tom Cruise and McHugh, but it is what it is. Reviews aren't as strong as its predecessor of 2023's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which fell short of box office expectations in the wake of Barbenheimer. However, The Final Reckoning has embraced an A- grade on CinemaScore. The story features plenty of death-defying stunts from the 62-year-old Cruise picks up spy operative Ethan Hunt, continuing his race against time to find a rogue artificial intelligence known as the Entity. With this opening and with the excellent business overseas, Final Reckoning is going to make a lot of money, Gross says. But the costs are enormous and it'll be lucky to break even. The delays were uncontrollable and unfortunate. In a distant third place, Final Destination Bloodlines earned a huge $19 million over the weekend and is estimated at $24.5 million through Monday by the end of today. The sixth installment in Warner Brothers and New Lines' long-running horror property in which people die increasingly insane incidents has generated a healthy $94.6 million in North America and 187. Oh no, my stuff froze. Hold on. Pause. I think my mouse died. Okay, I'll leave it there for a second. I'll just start reading. 94.6 million in North America and 187 million worldwide just after 2 weekends. So that I think its budget was only like 80 million or something like that. So it's kind of started to make its money. It'll make money by the end of its run. I'd say 80 million's at like the high bargain too of the pricing. At number 4, Thunderbolts brought in 9.5 million over the weekend and an estimated 12 million through Monday. Disney and Marvel's comic book adventure has grossed 171 million domestically and 353 million globally after 4 weeks in theaters. Because theater owners get to keep half the ticket sales, Thunderbolts will struggle at this rate to return a profit theatrically against its $180 million budget production. Okay, so that's that. But my stuff still not working. So I'm not going to be able to end the stream or anything without this working. Come on now. Okay. This sucks because this is live. No way, dude. Okay, hold on. I have to look up if I can use my phone as a mouse. Okay, let me see this app. Bro, I can't believe that. Usually it would like warn me or something. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's open this up. Well, how can I get to the website if my mouse doesn't work? Oh man. That's crazy. Okay. Well, the only way for me to get through this is going to be to completely shut off the Mac Mini, and I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see if I can add this. Bro. This is crazy, dude. It never takes this long to get going. Okay, well, sorry about that for anybody that watches. I'm gonna have to just completely shut this down and then start it back up and hope that it works then. So I mean, I hope that it would end the stream if I completely shut it down because OBS will shut down. But all right, at least I got through all that I wanted to talk about. I was really what I was gonna do next was just compare the box office between all of the 2020s. So that kind of sucks that I can't now. But this weekend blew out of the water all of the 2020s. Obviously, 2020 was the lowest one because of the pandemic. The next highest one I think was 2023. I forget entirely, but yeah, that was that. So I'm gonna shut this off now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down below what you think of these articles and if there's anything else you'd like me to add to this new kind of show that I'm going to start doing or try to do every here and there. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I mean, you're still going to see me because I got to turn this off, but peace. One more time. Okay. Yeah, nope, still didn't work.